Hello and welcome everyone to the reading of the week for November 6th to the 13th. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm about to do a reading for the highest and greatest benefit of myself and everyone on this call. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that is most needed right now, and to provide that in a manner that will be easily, effortlessly heard, understood, and integrated for our highest and greatest good collectively. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to facilitate this exchange and ensure that it happens in the best way possible for the greatest good of all of us and this beautiful planet as well. I'd also like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of wisdom, of beauty, of enlightenment, healing, power, empowerment, everything that is in our collective heart and mind at this time. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies is welcome to go now. So let's get going. I hope you've all had a good week wherever you are. Okay, recent past, the influence is waning, continues into our present, into our future. Card of ruin. And so here we have a mother or a woman is bending over a child. We don't know what's happened, but it looks serious. And so we have all this incoming energy that feels like adversity, and yet at the same time there's this bolt of energy coming down and reaching her. So it's this, in spite of the darkness, in spite of what may appear to be catastrophic or what may appear to be devastating, there's always light incoming, helping us to become clearer and to be of service, to take care of each other, and to figure out the best way forward if we listen to our heart and if we listen to the wisdom that comes from within. Appearances may not be favorable or may not seem favorable, and yet there is always clarity and wisdom to be had, even in the most difficult circumstance, to light our way and help us to redirect our energies and our effort and our attention towards what is wanted. The present card, we have the King of Pentacles. And this is a person who is very practical, he's at the maturation of the suit of Pentacles, and Pentacles has to do with money and financial affairs. And this is a person who knows how to handle money and make things happen with money, sort of the quintessential business person. This is in our present environment. So this would cause us to look at our financial situation and to take our power around it and to be empowered around it and to make better choices around our financial picture. Giving it attention, giving it energy, and creating a plan, because it's the masculine, it's the king that we have here, not the queen. So it's coming up with a plan and working the plan, sort of a more practical and linear approach rather than being intuitive and feeling your way with it. This is what the king would tell us, is this taking care of material things, paying attention to them, putting them in order, creating a plan and working the plan. The near future, we have the Tower. The Tower has a similar impact. There's a lightning that's come down and struck a tower that has been built incorrectly. It's actually a representation of the Tower of Babel. So the Tower of Babel was constructed on pride and arrogance, and so it had to come down. In this instance, the tower represents a structure that is not built solidly, that is not on firm foundation, that is not in integrity. Perhaps it served at one point, but no longer. And so it's coming down to its foundations in order to be rebuilt again in a manner that is supportive and helpful and healing. So our near future is this energy of the tower, of this, and we've seen this tower come up in the past few months quite a bit, but this idea that structures that no longer serve us are coming down. It needs to happen. It's helpful for us. And if we could just keep breathing and take stock of that as it happens and recognize that we will be brought to a clean slate. And from that clean slate, we can rebuild our world in the manner that we are wanting it to be manifest in. We can bring our clear visions, our loving hopes and dreams and desires for our future forward and build from that solid foundation. Foundation of the reading, why we're having the reading, we have the card of Justice, the middle card of the Major Arcana. Justice is all about karma, living well in accordance with understanding that what we put out, we will get back. What goes around comes around. How we live our life becomes the track through which the rest of life comes forward to us. So when we adopt a certain way of being, a certain frequency or vibration, when we choose to be positive, we choose to be empowered, we choose to be of service and a source of light and kindness and love in the world, then we're creating a future for ourselves where there's more of that. So the foundation card represents why we're having this reading, what we're looking at, and it's this energy of justice, a just world for all. What would that look like? What would that feel like? Who would we have to be? And what kind of vision can we hold for our world and our future as we move towards this longing in our hearts to make manifest what we know is possible? It may seem like it's only a dream at this point, but that's where everything starts. It starts in our hearts and in our minds and with our dreams and our visions, and we can pull it into reality. So this card of Justice is reminding us to choose well, to choose broadly, to choose for the greater good, to choose trusting that what is good for the greater good is also good for us, and that when we follow our heart's path and we live our lives well, we're creating a beautiful future, not only for ourselves, but for everyone. So that's the foundation of the reading for this week. How we need to conduct ourselves. Love, being in that state of love. This card has come up before, talking about our romance with life. So this is what we're being called to in this next coming week is to foster our romance with life, to look out at life and to see the things that we love and to recognize them and be grateful for them and acknowledge them and give them energy. It's so important that we foster the energy of love, the energy of kindness. You know, again, that idea of romance with life. We're having a relationship with life. And so if we're cultivating a romance, how do you go about that? Well, you focus on the loved one and you celebrate all that is wonderful about them and love all that they are to the best of our abilities. So this is our work for the coming week. Be in love with life. Recognize all the beauty that's there, all the pieces that you love, and give it energy, give it attention, give it appreciation, and let it grow. How others are going to be. You have the Six of Wands, victory. It's this creative overcoming of obstacles, this inspired overcoming of things, of adversity, of obstacles. It's the energy of others. What we could see from others is this application of inspiration and talent and passion, and using it as an opportunity, using it as a tool to overcome obstacles, using it as a way to leap over anything that is in the way and move forward in life in a beautiful, passionate, glorious, inspired way. Again, this is the cards. The wands are about creativity, inspiration, passion. And so in the card of others this week, it's looking around and seeing how others are moving things forward in a good way with all of their heart, with their passion, with their calling, seeing how out in the world people are doing this. They are moving life forward in a good way. Recognize it. Be inspired by it, because it gives us permission when we see others taking these strides and making these changes and taking on life and giving back to it gloriously. It gives us permission to do the same from our position, wherever we are in the world, wherever we are. We can give to life from our hearts, from our love of life. So just look around you this week at all the beautiful people who are standing tall in their gifts and shining them brightly and using them to overcome challenges that we face. Give your attention to that too, because that's another thing that you can be in love with. And the outcome is the High Priestess. Yeah, this coming into a new relationship with life that is intuitive and sees behind the appearance, the surface, the three-dimensionality of life. It's reaching beyond that. It's tapping into the wisdom that is within us and all around us. That is more than just what our physical senses tell us. We are being transformed. We are going through a time where we're being led to being broader, to being more than we were, to being more than a three-dimensional, stuck in the three-dimensional realm, bumping around and thinking that that's all there is, and we're being pulled into a deeper relationship with life, a deeper connection to all that is, and recognizing our place in all of this, and that we do have a place and we are important. And as we learn to develop these gifts, we tap into the collective consciousness of which we're all a part, and into the even deeper layers that unite us all. So the High Priestess is about the collective consciousness. It's about us being together, connected together, recognizing that we are all one, and that the decisions that we make are important not only for ourselves and those close to us, but to the world at large. And maybe making new choices in that area, being inspired by the inspiration that comes to us from other places, and moving our lives in a new way, learning to listen to our intuition, learning to listen to our hearts, learning to come at life from a different place, a wiser place, a more grounded place. So here we have the outcome for the coming week is this High Priestess energy, the collective consciousness, the subconsciousness, and all that that means. It's accessing wisdom and power that, again, in our mainstream world, we often don't give any attention to or credit to, but that exists. Once you go there, you realize that it's everywhere, and it changes your life forever. And we're going there. You can go kicking and screaming, or you can go you can go and make friends with these energies. So it looks like, intensity here, get on top of things here, be practical, make sure your things are in order. It's practical. It's like getting the material things in order. That's what the King of Pentacles is about. And doing this personally and collectively. Again, how are we going to move our world forward? What do we want it to look like? We don't have to have all the answers. That's why we're all here together, and we all have different perspectives, is we all have a piece to contribute. So we don't need to take on the pressure of doing it all ourselves, understanding that collectively we're part of this collective wisdom. There's this collective picture, and we can collectively build it from our uniqueness, each of us bringing our uniqueness to the solution. Near future, the Tower. So more crumbling of institutions and structures that no longer serve us. More of that coming down, more of the awareness growing around the corruption, the inconsistencies, the lack of integrity. All of that is part of this crumbling that we're seeing. That again, as it may seem scary to look at it in some ways, but on the other hand, it will be tremendously freeing and will give us the energy and the opportunity and the clearing to build what it is that we want in the world. It's a fresh new beginning. That's how we need to look at it. Foundation, justice, do the right thing. Listen to your heart. Weigh the balance, the scales of balance here. It's about understanding our dance with life, our dance with karma, that we're not at the effect of life, we are co-creating life, we are dancing with life. So we need to step forward and meet life. We need to understand that our choices and our actions are creating our future. We need to take responsibility for those, because we are creating the road through which our life is going to unfold from this point onward. This is the card that is the foundation. It's really important for us to start taking responsibility, recognize that we are the ones creating our lives. We are the ones collectively co-creating our future. What do we want? How do we want it to go? And living it now, so that we pull it into our future and make more of that. More kindness, more tolerance, more respect, more love, more support, more collaboration, that kind of energy. What we put out, we will sow. romance with life, how we need to be, looking at life, looking at all her many, many blessings and gifts and surprises and delights, and giving that our attention, giving it that our energy, giving it our appreciation, our gratitude, celebrating it, having our relationship, our romance with life this week. That's what it's about. Here we'll see others as part of our romance of life. It's like looking out into the world and seeing those who are taking strides to embrace their life and to embrace this planet and embrace coming forward in all of their unique glory and sharing the gifts that they have to give to provide wonderful solutions to the obstacles that we face. This collective overcoming of the obstacles that we face from a place of passion, of celebration, of joy, of inspiration and upliftment. That's the energy when we look around at others that's out there. So look out and see and acknowledge those who are living it. Words of appreciation, letting people know that you see them and the good work that they're doing, those people in your immediate life and in the bigger picture. And the outcome, the High Priestess, this moving towards a greater relationship with the sacred, a greater relationship with the unseen, a greater relationship with our collective consciousness, a greater relationship with those parts that we as a common culture don't usually engage with. They're going to become more and more part of our experience, this understanding that we are collective. We are unique, yes, and we are collective at the same time. We're all connected. So what we do to ourselves or what we do to each other impacts everybody. And so the motivation there, of course, is that when we start to be kinder and we start to be wiser and take responsibility for our actions in the world and our interactions with each other, we transform our collective experience. That kindness of each of us as individuals moving out into the world from that open-hearted place of love, of tolerance, of respect, of care, of kindness, transforms our collective experience. And so remembering that there's more that to life than just the three-dimensional things that we see and that we sense with our sensory organs. There's more to life. There's more beyond what we see. And maybe that's not familiar to us. Maybe we don't have any grounding in that. But simply being curious and open will bring you more information about this and will help you if you want to. I mean, you always have the choice. But being curious and asking for help from the universe will bring you the opportunities to learn more and to deepen your connection to life. Because life is so much more than we in our three-dimensional perception of things can appreciate and understand. Okay, so that's the energy for the week. Let's just pull our card to grow on and see what comes up for us this week. Want it to be a good one, so I'm shuffling really hard. Okay, my dears, here we go. Card for the coming week. What do we need to know? What do we need to grow on? What do we need to be contemplating and considering in our collective experience? Prince of Hearts. So again, a little bit like we were just touching on, this idea of love, of being open-hearted, of sharing our love with the world and being open about that and moving around in life from a loving place. Princes or knights in other decks are the same card, and so there's this idea of movement, of circulation, of charging even, but it's a little softer in the card because the card of hearts, he's not actually wielding a sword or a lance and going after somebody. He's actually waving a heart around. And so this energy, this card to grow on for this week is this idea of finding our hearts, finding our love for life and really soaking in it, marinating in it, this idea of really basking in the romance, our romance with life, letting our love of life nourish us and inspire us and move us forward in life. When we're in love, when people are in love, they're usually kinder and happier and more resilient and just in a much better place. And so this week, this is what we're cultivating, our love with life, our romance with life, our celebration of all the blessings in our life. We're going to count them over and over and notice new ones and celebrate them and appreciate them and bring them into our field and light our field up like a Christmas tree. We have the ability to do this. We get to choose in every moment where we're giving our attention. And this week, we're choosing to be in love with our lives and this beautiful planet and all the good things on it and all the things that are unique to us that we love, we are celebrating. And if you have a friend who's into this and you guys can get together and celebrate together, all the better, because you amplify that field. You amplify that energy, and that becomes your vibration point to which life will send you more. It becomes your point of magnetism. Like attracts like. So when you're in a happy, good, positive place, you're pulling more of that into your field. So intentionally cultivating it. That's what this is all about this week. Reach for the good thoughts, people. Much love to all of you. Creator, thank you for this opportunity to be of service, to do this reading. I ask that we all find our love with life this week, that we recognize all the many blessings and the beauties and how you are interacting with us in every moment and giving us things to be celebrating and joyful about and appreciating and loving and basking in. We just have to open our eyes and look around and choose to see it and choose to give it our energy and attention. In this moment, Creator, I thank you for each and every person on this call, wherever they may be. I ask for many blessings for them, that you open their hearts and minds to all the blessings and the love and the light and the kindness and the goodness that is in the world, that you ground them and give them solid footing in the craziness and unevenness of the world, so that they may stand solid and appreciative and loving and kind, in love with you and with life, celebrating all that is good and amplifying it with their attention and their energy, that we collectively stand in this place and transform the world from our love. I thank you for today. I thank you for this opportunity to be of service. Much love and light to each and every one of us. Thanks to all those who helped to hold the space today. The reading is at an end, and so it is. Be well, everyone. We'll see you next week.